Live. Boom. Dashboard. Speaking. Oops. Oh. Speaking. Save. Right. What do you do? Ozio says, hi, hello. Thanks, how's it going? From Cape Town. Hi, Stephen. We're doing a baking stream today. We'll be making alfajores. Jaime, correct me if I'm pronouncing that stupid. How are you supposed to pronounce it?
Alfajores.
Alfajores. I'm from Brazil. Hi, is it Josiel or Josiel? Also, hi, welcome from Brazil. Okay, now, next step is to figure out what the recipe is. Should do this. Got an idea. Now, yes. Welcome in. Just getting set up. Doing a baking stream. Woo! Hi, Mixed Mechanics. Thanks for the shout out. Or I should say Connor. I know that your actual name is Connor. Come on in. Hi, Plastic. For the raid. How are you doing? We're doing well. Trying to stay focused. We're doing a baking stream. We're baking alfajores. And we'll continue to fuck up the pronunciation. Oop, I don't know if that's loud. Am I allowed to swear on Twitch? I don't know. Heck yes. Okay, perfect. You sound fine in Dandy King. Good to know. But if the audio is messed up or anything like that, please let me know. Yes. Lurking because I'm in a call. Good to see you. Okay, no worries. Oh, here we go. Okay. 3 easy steps to make alfajores. What are the ingredients? Okay. Some butter. Some salt, pepper. Butter, check. Pepper. Eggs. Flour, cornstarch. Feels quiet. I think I should have music or something. Great today, by the way. Give me a thumbs up so you know you can see me here. Lol. I can't hear because of cough. I can read you. Thanks for the compliment. Need some. People don't want to see you bake. Fine. But also rude. So happy about the baking stream. Thanks, Connor. Welcome on. How's it going? I'm also doing tarot, which is a weird combination. But if anyone wants their tarot read, and they have a question for the universe, they want to know the future, let me know. Okay, 150 grams of butter. Of course, baking tarot we love. Yep. I think that's a very unique niche. I've cornered the market on the baking tarot demographic. So right now we're adding 150 grams. So I guess back up. We're making alfajores, which are like a shortbread cookie and dulce de leche center, like an Oreo, but with sugar cookies and dulce de leche. So we start with 150 grams of unsalted butter. Market beware, they didn't see it coming. Right, Mom. Bowl, so very creamy. Okay. Now we need 200 grams of white sugar. Butter and sugar. Oh. My back is turned towards you the whole time. The emotional support ginger. Hi Scott, I was lurking during your tarot stream earlier. Carrie Buffalo brought me over. Oh, thanks. Hey, welcome on in. Thanks for the lurk earlier, and thanks for your the participation up. We're still doing taro if we want. People want that. I can do that while I'm making cookies. Adding 200 grams of sugar to butter. Amazing. Okay. If there is a screen that you two are not in together, it's not here. Now we just mix the two together. Really just butter and sugar. Amazing. I feel like I'm wearing far too much jewelry baking right now. You coming over here, bud? As long as you don't knock over the microphone. This is hard work. Sweaty. Oh, look, a fish says, "Hey, Scott. Hello. How's it going? Welcome on." We're baking cookies. Right now, I'm just mixing some butter and sugar together so they're nice and creamy. Babe! Wild babe appeared. Look at this cute little community. Everyone knows each other, being supportive. Amazing. Also, this is Spud. It's my greyhound. Looking kind of creepy with the eyes shining and reflecting. He's very interested in my baking. He loves butter. Even though technically he should never have had it before because we don't give him human food. His eyes are like reflecting in the light, and it's kind of creepy, but also very cute. That's Papa! He's licking your bag. Oh, okay, I think that's sufficiently creamed. And that's definitely someone's grinder profile. It's sufficiently creamed. Now we need 2 egg yolks and a whole egg. So, to get the egg yolk, I don't know if anyone knows this trick, but what you can do is you crack the egg, and then you sort of cut the yolk so that the membrane doesn't break, and you can actually separate the yolks from the egg whites. Let's see if I can do this. I don't know if you can see that, but I've basically got the yolk in here, and you just kind of do this back and forth. You separate all of the egg whites from the egg yolk. That's one. Do you take the recipe amount of vanilla as a suggestion? Oh, absolutely. It's as much as I please. That's also with most things. Most like recipes are more of a suggestion. That's not usually the approach you should take when baking, because baking is usually a lot more precise, but certain things like vanilla, I think you can get away with it. When I cook, also, I like salty things. I know salt is usually taboo when baking. Less refined, less cultured, but I do like me some salt. Okay, so that's 2 egg yolks and 1 full egg. No. I do the shell method for 1 or 2, but if I'm making flan, I just run the whites through my fingers. Oh yeah, I'm sure that also works. I just don't want to get my hands that dirty. I've also seen people use a water bottle, and you like create a suction cup, and you just pop out the egg yolks. I've never tried that, but this method works fine for me. So nice cake, Dad. Hi, Juice Box. Oh my God, guys, we've got a celebrity. Juice Box is my mother and my daughter simultaneously. Don't ask how that's biologically possible, but it is. I'm at a show, but just dropping in to say hi, Sixy, and I want baked goods. Let me just respond. I know you're not supposed to be on your phone while you're streaming, but I have to say hi to Juice Box. Hi, Mom. What a good quality. Juice Box is letting me borrow her webcam, so she's a little biased on that run. Okay, back to baking. Add the eggs and egg yolk and mix well to incorporate. So that's what we're doing. Juicebox, if you don't know her, you should, but she was on Canada's Drag Race. She is an amazing drag performer and knows her very well. And she also streams. So if you're not following her, go follow her. A good daughter mom. I know, right? She's like the best. I love my daughter mom. Kind of rude. I've been facing available time, you know. Sorry. I'm gonna make more of an effort to face the camera, so I'm not facing away. Technology limitations. Is this like anti-ASMR, or just like horrible screeching noises in your ear? What's the most complicated thing I've baked? I kind of, the first thing I ever baked, and now my sort of go-to, I've practiced it and gotten really good at them, are um, French macarons, which are basically two like almond flour wafers, sandwiched with, you could have whatever you want. But sort of the iconic or the distinguishing feature of the macaron is that sort of like crusty outside at the bottom lip and like that smooth hard shell. And they're very finicky. You have to like, there's a lot of steps where you go wrong, and you have to be very precise. It's like you have to boil sugar, get it to a certain temperature. Because if you go too low, it's like soft and gummy. If you go too high, then it becomes crackly and brittle. So it's very finicky. But those are my favorite to make. Right now, as I was requested by my husband, I'm making alfajores, which include it's like a sugar cookie with dulce de leche and cheese. All right. Now, so this is like a pretty simple recipe, and I'm kind of glad that starting with this for my stream because it's surprisingly distracting. There's a lot of things to focus on, even though there's not a lot of chat, but I don't know. It's as a new streamer, it's a lot to keep track of. Okay, now next, flour and cornstarch. So we want 1 cup of flour, 2 cups of cornstarch. I don't like using cups. I like to do by mass because that's far more accurate. You could squeeze a lot of flour, for example, into a single cup, or it could be light and airy. So the actual volume is not very accurate. What a lot more accurate is measuring by mass. So we're going to measure 140 grams of flour. Where's that sifter? And we're going to sift it so we don't have any lumps. Ooh, nice. I need to try my hand at those. My most was croissants. Oh my god. Croissants that's I feel like bread is in its own category. It's like not cooking, but also not baking. It's like in its own separate category. I would love to make croissants, but I'm too lazy because the folding and the layering and like to get it successfully, you have to do a lot of basically like pleating. And so you fold butter between layers of dough. And that's how you get it to like when it rises, that's how you get all those separate sort of sheets. And that takes a lot of work. And you have to make sure that the butter doesn't melt in between. So you have to constantly sort of put it back in the fridge so it cools down. Otherwise you'll melt it and it'll all blend together and then you won't get the distinct layers. I need a new kitchen scale. Mine got ruined. We have a few. They're not terribly accurate, but for the purposes of what we're doing, it'll suffice. Okay, 140 grams of flour. I'm sifting it because we don't want lumps. Way more. That's way more than 150. See, this is what happens. I'm not paying attention. Okay, perfect. It's an 18-hour process with so much aggression taking out on that butter. Poor butter. Yeah, that's a commitment. That's 1 cup flour, 2 cups of cornstarch. Cornstarch has the same sort of property of the flour. It gives it the doughy, like starchiness. But the one thing about cornstarch that sort of separates it or makes it really nice is that it gives it a lot nicer texture. So 250 grams of cornstarch. Oops. Almost there, come on. There we go. Where do you get your recipe for croissants? 'Cause that's actually something I may want to try. Never really considered that, but I've gotten into yeasting products. Like I'll do a yeasted overnight waffle dough. I haven't done that in a while, or a waffle batter, I should say. Maybe I'll do that tonight. Well, thoughts, Jaime? Would you like that? That's a yes. All right. Half a teaspoon of baking powder. I get confused between baking powder and baking soda. I always bring both. I'm just gonna kind of eyeball them. Okay, a little bit of salt. Salt. Together. We're supposed to do this the other way, but bowls that I chose are the wrong size. So you should add the dough or the flour, the dry ingredients to the wet ingredients gradually, but I'm gonna do it opposite, just because the bowls aren't big enough. It may end up with a clumpy dough, but that's fine. We'll make do. Oh my god, that's just pure butter and sugar. It tastes so good. Mm. Now we're forming the dough. We're going to be a little slower than normal because we added the wet to the dry, and that's going to be clumpier and messier. So is it a long weekend for everyone? Is this basically everyone's Friday? It's my Friday. Does everyone have tomorrow off? Make it a big mess. Oh, make it a big mess. Oops, I missed the vanilla. You can also add like cognac and lemon zest. But I don't have either of those, so I'm not going to. Ugh. Okay, the dough has been mixed. Put some ingredients away. The next step is to clear the desk or the work surface, the bench, and lay out the dough and pat it into a disc. And then we gotta cool it down for a bit. Hi, what's for dinner? Hi, Randall. We're not making dinner. We're making dessert. We're making alfajores, or some sort of pronunciation that I will never get right. But they're basically sugar cookies with dulce de leche centers. Right now, we're just making the sugar cookie dough. I'm going to clean the work surface and roll out the dough that we've just made. Welcome on in. I'm drinking some tea while I bake. And also, no one's asked for it yet, but we do have tarot. So if anyone wants me to read their tarot and wants to know the future, that's cool. Okay. Almost done yet. I'm hungry though. It's gonna be a while, unfortunately. Still have to roll out the dough. We have to cool it for a bit. We have to cut out the shapes, and then we have to bake. A few steps away still.
The tarot while you
Can absolutely do tarot while we bake. So I'm just gonna put a bit of flour on the counter so that doesn't stick. I just cleaned the counter, so in case you're wondering, it's not gross because I just cleaned it. Yummy. Um, so this is supposed to cool for a bit. Wait for that. I probably should. Fine, we'll wait. I have to put this in the freezer. Evening all, what kind of tea was that? That was just some regular ass, what's it called? Twining Earl Grey. Mind the flour all over my fingers and the chipping nail polish. Focus. Hello? Hello? Whatever. Okay, I'm all out of. So how can I make do with parchment paper? So this has to chill for 30 minutes. Daddy, chill. All right. The chaos. That is my kitchen right now. There's a whole lot of flour on the floor, so I'm gonna deal with that. What? Luckily, they can't see. For anyone wondering, there was a big pile of flour on the floor. Don't worry about it. It's gone. It's handled. Okay. Now I've got grease and flour all over my tank top, so that's great. Now we wait. I guess we're shifting gears into a tarot reading stream. Slash cleaning up the kitchen stream. Tarot has flour all over it, which is great. Okay. Who is first? Who wants to read or know their future? Ask a question about anything. Could be your career, your finances, your love life, a general reading. I want to know what my future will be like. All right, Christian, let's see. This is just a general general reading. Christian wants to know what his future will be like. Since you're the first one to ask, we'll do a full 4-card spread for you, which will give you a more fulsome answer. It'll give you sort of like your current situation, the challenge, the sort of recommendation, and the expected outcome should you follow the advice. So, the Lord. Okay. So I'm seeing Christian an authority figure. I feel like you're maybe the boss or the supervisor or maybe a project lead in something. Are you sort of like a decision maker or a leader in either work or your a community that you're in? I'm getting a sort of a confident leader vibe right now. Um, and so, okay, so I guess I should show you what cards I'm drawing. So the first card that I got was the Lord, and this card is a card of like I said, leadership. It's like a masculine, sort of assertive, strong energy. It's like their confidence. They're like the boss or the shot caller. Yes, I am a boss in a business that I own. Okay, that makes sense. So the next card that I got is the. So yeah, I'm definitely getting that vibe from you. I think you're. Yeah, you know what you're doing. So the next card is the Ace of Wands, and so this is a new opportunity. And I think the fact that it focused on you in the Lord, as in like the boss sense, I think it's trying to focus on that side of your life. And so the Ace of Wands is talking about a new opportunity, like maybe it's a new partnership or a new business venture. I don't know what exactly, but it's the aces are like sort of the start of something new, and the wands are something of like action, of like passion or interest or a new idea, a new yeah, it could be a new product. I don't know what your business is, but it's like a new uh, aspect of your business that you haven't pursued before. And so the what this is telling me, this is the Four of Cups, and this is telling me that the sort of the advice for you is to don't get lost in the ideation phase or the fantasizing phase of things, right? Like if you have an idea that comes to you and you have that spark of inspiration, that spark of passion, you need to push for it. You can't just sort of rest on the the longing and the romanticization and thinking too much about it. Thank you 592 Fuse for the follow. Appreciate that. So yeah, this is saying you can't just lay around and think about it. This is if you want to really make something of this new idea, this new venture, you need to start taking action. And then finally, Ace of Swords. So that's interesting. So not only will this new idea be just an idea, I think that's what it's saying, but this is going to be a new sort of way of thinking and a way of operating. This may totally up and change the way you and your business operate. This is, I think, if you latch onto this new creative outlet, it's going to have a lot of sort of cascading effects. It's going to have a lot of impacts on a lot of other areas. So it's really saying this is a new and exciting time for you. What's up, handsome? Love you. Hope all is well. Thanks, Rambo. Things are going well. We are waiting for our dough to chill for a bit. It's got to just chill. And in the meantime, we are doing some tarot reading. Coffee connoisseur, I see. It's actually tea. But I do like a good coffee, too. It's almost cold now. So, Christian, I don't know if that really resonates with you. I don't know if you have a new idea that you've been thinking about or a new direction to take. It's saying that dig into that sort of spark or that inspiration, and new things will come of it. Okay, that is what I've been thinking to do. Okay, great. That's great. So I hope that I hope that works out. I hope that gives you that little push that you needed to start and to make that idea become a reality. I think it means good things in your future. I'm going to grab a shower. I'll be back. Okay. Oh, I meant your espresso machine in the background. Oh yeah, yeah, that's a good point. Use that usually daily. Could I get a reading when I get back? Sure, you sure can. Does anyone else have a question that they want to ask? Something they want to know about you? Know about? Thank you so much. No problem, Christian. Good luck. Too early, someone wants to read it. This is good stuff. See, I already helped Christian. I can help you too. What do you want to know? I know nothing on tarot or readings. You don't need to. You just need to want to know something in the future. It could be just general. What does the universe have to say? What's my future? What's in store for my future? If you want to know something specific about an aspect of your life, you can ask that too. You can hemming and hawing on a decision. You can ask, and I can give you some advice. It could be about a relationship. It could be about an idea you have. Be about a new project, or if you're thinking about going back to school, if you have a romantic interest, or you want to know if you're going to have someone sort of show up in your life. That's a pretty common one. Yeah, so type out in chat what you want to know, and then I'll ask and do the drawing. I'll do I'll do the shuffling and draw the cards, and I'll tell you what it says. So, for example, we just had Christian. He wanted to know about his future, and the cards wanted to talk about his business and a new sort of business idea or opportunity that he was thinking about. So go for it. Couple more minutes left for the dough to chill before we start parsing it out. Okay, so my question is, will I land a job this year to be able to move to another country? Find out. Okay. Refuse. Will they land a job that enables them to travel, to move to another country? Okay. Okay, so this is cool. Let me just see 1 second. Perfect. Cool. So the first card was the Nine of Cups, and this is a card about realizing realizing your dreams. Usually the cards go in like a cyclical, and so 9 is followed obviously by 10, which is the final result. So right now you're at a point of like realizing your dreams, realizing your potential, and the final product of that, not to sort of spoil this whole story, but I'll get into the detail later, but the where you are now is like in a really good position to achieve fulfillment, and by sort of following the next few cards, that's exactly what you'll be able to achieve. So I think this is telling me, or telling you rather, not only is it going to be a job that gives you financial freedom, but it's also going to give you sort of like spiritual or like personal satisfaction. Like this is a or rather maybe it's recommending that you pursue something that you're deeply passionate about, because in doing so you will find contentment and fulfillment, not just financially but in all aspects, and like at a sort of emotional spiritual level, that you'll get that fulfillment. And the I think the task right now is focusing on being sort of financially prudent, maybe start saving, put a little bit of money away every chance that you get, and being smart about your finances until then. I think what I'm seeing is that, so yes, I think you're going to get a job, but I think to get the job, you're going to have to start maybe thinking outside the box. I think what you're considering as like the type of employment that you're looking for, I think it's telling you to consider what are the other ways or maybe other jobs that I haven't really considered. Um, Maybe start thinking of things that not as like financially motivating, but sort of personally motivating, something that you're going to find personal satisfaction and contentment with. And maybe that's something that you hadn't really considered as an employment option in the past. So start thinking things of different in a different way, because it's saying that you're close wherever you are in life. You're close to finding that key, and reaching that fulfillment, and that sort of the Ten of Cups is like the joyous completion. You got sort of everything in abundance, and you're at a point where you can share that with others. And so maybe that's what this card is also saying. It's not only are you going to be like sort of fulfilled, but you'll be in a place where you can share that with others, and you can give, not just to yourself, but you can spread that to others as well. Interesting. So, okay, yeah. So background is that I live in the Caribbean, and I'm looking to land a U.S. job to move with the whole visa thing. Interesting. So it's interesting. I'm not sure about the moving, but maybe I'm just trying to think of like the Hanged Man is a card of like new perspectives, and sort of turning things on their head, and looking at problems from a different angle, and trying to find solutions that way. So maybe there's other ways to get yourself to the States, that you haven't quite considered yet. I don't know. Yeah, but I think that you're definitely at a place where you're able to make those changes and find happiness. So I don't know if that really means anything to you. I know that's kind of vague. Sometimes the tarot can be really really specific, and then other times it's sort of the answers are a little more ambiguous, and it's not as satisfying when that happens. But sometimes when I say things, people see meaning, or interpret what I'm saying in a way that is very personal that I don't necessarily understand, right? So if anything that I said resonates with you, lean into that. Okay. I think I do have what it takes, and I do have like over 7 years of experience in my field, so it's just learning the whole process. Interesting. Yeah, I'm think like maybe it's even a matter of like I'm thinking of like the savings card. That when the card, the Four of Pentacles, was like one of sort of saving up, and being financially stable. I'm wondering if that maybe is like almost saying like maybe even travel first, and like have a little savings account that you can sort of tap into, while you're looking around. I don't know, but the final the end result card was the Ten of Cups, and that's like a very positive, very joyful, very fulfilling card. So whatever happens, I think you're going to find a lot of joy, and you're going to be in a place where you can spread that to others as well. Hughes. Hi, Connor. Do you want a reading? Would you like me to read your tarot? Do you have something specific you wanna know about? Way. Actually, you know what? Sorry, Connor. You don't. I'm gonna just do it anyways. So, a visual designer in the industry is weird from the corporate aspect. So that's interesting. Okay, so maybe what it's saying then is like your what you make and like the visuals that or the the art that you do and whatever form that is. Um, I think it's saying maybe like focus on what inspires you and what sort of drew you into that field in the first place. What is it about the visual, um, you know, uh, the art that you make? What is it that got you there in the first place? What inspires you? I know that a lot of times in the industry you have to sort of do things that aren't sort of what you're passionate or interested in. You got to do someone else's projects that they're interested in, and maybe this is sort of saying, don't forget about the part of that work that gave you that passion in the first place. And when you create art from your from your soul or from your heart and from what inspires you, that inspires other people. Like people can tell the difference between work that is done for a paycheck versus work that is done because it came from like a, a deep passion, something that you're interested in. So I don't know. So as I said, Connor, I'm just going to do a general reading because I want to see what the cards have to say about you. So Connor, just for Jaime, for reference, Jaime, the person that I rated earlier today, that's what I'm talking about. All right. Connor is everywhere. Oh wow. Interesting. So you got two aces next to each other. You got the Ace of Pentacles and the Ace of Cups. So aces, like I said before, are the start of something. They're the beginning of something new. And in this case, the Pentacles can be a new business opportunity. That's usually what it comes like when it's drawn in this context. It's usually about financial, because unless there's trying to think of like what else it could be. I think it in this case it's saying like there's something a new maybe a new opportunity with Twitch. Maybe you're going to be taking your Twitch to the next level soon. The task here is it's also going to have a new sort of emotional side of things. It's not just going to be all about whatever this opportunity is. It's not just going to be a new business venture. It's going to have a deep effect on the way you emote and the way you emotionally connect with people. I really am. I like helping and hanging out. And so I think this is maybe saying don't lose track of this sort of emotional connection, but maybe start putting on a business sort of hat as well, right? Like think of things as if you want to take your Twitch to the next level, think of it maybe more as I know it's kind of boring, but as like a job as well, right? And taking it a little more seriously that way, so that you can bring things to the next level. And the Eight of Cups is, let me look at this quickly. So yeah, so I think the Eight of Cups here is saying, um, it's one of like moving on to the next level. This is finding bigger and greater things for yourself. Sometimes in doing so, it requires to let go of things that are no longer relevant to your life, so that you can move forward. Um, and it's not a loss. It's just accepting that people or things, parts of your life, come into your life when they need to, and not when you're done with them, you toss them away, but you grow and you keep growing, and things sort of phase out of relevance to you. So don't be afraid um, to keep moving, keep growing, and don't feel guilty as people sort of come in and come out of your life. That's sort of the natural uh, order of things. You're always going to have new people, and you're grateful for the time that you get to spend with them, and you appreciate them for the time that they're there. And there's a natural conclusions to a lot of relationships, and sometimes you need to sort of be at peace with letting them go, so that you can both progress and advance and grow in life. Um, and then lastly, the Prince of Swords. So I don't know if this is you or this is your partner, but I think there's there's a young sort of they're very witty, they're very smart person that is in your life. They're kind of maybe a little reckless, or maybe they say things that they don't realize have an effect on you, or maybe they don't mean to be mean, but they just are very to the point. I'm seeing this person having a very significant part in your life. So it's not saying, I was talking about letting people sort of pass through your life. I don't think that this person is included. I think this person is very important in your life and will continue to be. Um, and actually, I think they're going to be maybe a big part of this next step in your growth. I don't know what that means, if you're maybe taking your relationship to the next step, or sort of merging different parts of your life and including them. But yeah, I think this is a card of new opportunities and new growths, and I think that you can do that together with your partner. I think you're both sort of on that path of growth together. That's kind of exciting. Sorry, Scott, did you need me to take a list again? Well, thanks, Plastic. No, I think people are kind of slower today on asking for tarot readings, and maybe I'm doing a less of a good job today or tonight. I'm grateful for Connor Stream as I work in the day. Connor Streams make my workday better. Yes, we all love Connor. I mean, I'm pretty sure everyone here is from Connor Stream, or has already followed them. But if you haven't, or if you're not, definitely do that. You got time to add me in after everyone else? I absolutely do. Fish, no, you don't need to. Just ask a question and I'll get to you. That reply from Twitter. Oh yeah, yeah, of course, Connor. I mean, I've been watching your stream sort of in passing, and while I do other things a lot. I even went to the gym, and instead of listening to workout music, which I normally do, I just had you playing and talking in the background. I can't remember what game it was. Probably can't remember, but yeah. I think it was before Elden Ring. I mean, I know it was before Elden Ring. This is when you were like probably like 30 viewers average. Now you're at like 150 or whatever. It was a bit of a couple weeks ago or months ago. Okay, we have hi. Tarot card being so relaxing. Great, I'm glad. So I think we had plastic next, and then fish. Oh, look a fish. We'll do you, Mike's Reverie. We can, if you have a question or you just wanted to say hi, hello, welcome in. If you had a question, we can definitely add you to the list. Connor slays Elden Ring like you're slaying these readings. Oh, honey, thank you. Big headphone Connor era. Um, yeah, I've been watching jealously as he plays Elden Ring. I think you've beaten it now once already. Now you're in your punching era, which is kind of amazing. Zero relationship. Okay, let's see what's going on with plastic. They want to know about love. Proud of you. Okay. Interesting. Interesting. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Hold on. Yeah, this move. Okay. Just wanted to compliment the stream. Oh, thanks, Mike's. That's very kind of you. All right. So, plastic. This is about love. I'm getting so the card that I drew first is the rebirth card, and this one is about finding your purpose. And I'm saying, I think what I'm seeing from this is before, and this is going to sound cliche, but it's like the RuPaul's quote of like, if you can't love yourself, how are you going to love someone else? That's not to say you can't find relationships in the meantime, but I think what this is saying is you need to do some like soul searching and really figure out who you are and come to terms with yourself and find love for yourself before you can share that with other people. And I think I'm getting the Six of Pentacles. This one is, I think you're a very giving person. I think there's a degree of like charity that is sort of inherent to who you are and how you interact with the world and interact with people. And I think you need to find someone who values that and doesn't take advantage of your generosity and your sort of altruistic nature. And I think you have some choice here. So Two of Swords is usually one of indecision or choice, and followed by the Four of Cups, which you've had before, and that one's sort of like the longing and dwelling in the what ifs, right? And so I think this is what this is telling me for you is you have a choice that you can I think it's certainly important to maybe like dabble, I guess, and like go and see what's out there. And you can have sort of these casual relationships, not just I'm not just saying hookups, but I'm saying like learning what it's like to date and meeting people and getting to know people. But I don't think that at least not in the immediate future, or at least not until you sort of find that purpose and really learn who you are, that you're gonna find that right person. But so you have a choice, right? Like you can experiment and have some fun and learn along the way, until you get to that point. Or you can sit around and long for the unknown and long for the what ifs and I don't think that's healthy either. So I think what it's really telling me is telling you is you need to focus on yourself and find out who you are. And um, I don't know if that sort of charity card, that sort of giving nature that you have, it resonates. I don't know if that's something that you've thought of yourself as, but it's really important that you find someone who doesn't take advantage of this. But also get out there. I think it's saying, you'll never know until you get out there and see what your options are. So you can do sort of both simultaneously. You can work on yourself and do this sort of self discovery in conjunction or concurrently with sort of dating other people and seeing what's out there. I've been doing the longing in what ifs for many years. Yeah, I mean you're so young, right? I think you said you just turned 20. That's a great time to start dating and seeing who's out there and what works and what doesn't work. And part of part of life is meeting people, dating, and getting your heart broken, right? Like, I think that's part of the trials or the rites of passage for a lot of people, and you don't really appreciate um, someone important in your life until you've had to sort of part ways with them, like romantic dating. Um, uh, so I don't feel comfortable with all of y'all because I'm into men. Girl, join the club. Uh, so I don't know if does that mean anything to you? Do you resonate with the sort of that charitable aspect of your who you are? Do you find yourself like a very giving person that sort of puts others' needs before yourself? Um, I do. Yeah. So I mean, I don't think that the solution is to shy away from that. I think that's a really important part of who you are, but it's also a great way to be taken advantage of and get hurt. And so I think it just cautions that, I don't think there's any value in dwelling in the fantasies and the what ifs like you said you've been doing for a while. But make sure you look out for yourself as well, right? Don't let people take advantage and ruin that part of who you are, because I think that's special in people. I always make sure people are doing great, but I never take it myself. So that's what the rebirth card is saying. You need to. They're not incompatible. The sort of the selflessness and soul searching can like I think that's uh, you can be giving and also take care of yourself, right? They're not mutually exclusive, and a lot of times the only way you can really truly be charitable and kind to others is if you are able to take care of yourself first. Okay, so was fish next? I think we had fish. Well, thanks so much for this. I really needed that, Scott. Yeah, of course. I hope the help. I hope like it means something to you. There's 20 is a great time to sort of figure out who you are, and I think that's what the universe is saying. It's like let's focus on you. That doesn't mean stop being kind to others, but check in with yourself for once and start focusing on that. Okay. Have fun in my 20s, or at least try. That you should. Now that we're not out of the woods with the pandemic, but now that things are starting to go back to normal and things are opening up and people are able to socialize a little bit more, I think this is a great opportunity for you to see what's out there, see what's on the market. Okay, fish. Oh, look, a fish. You had a question. I'm kind of struggling with making a decision. It's for a personal relationship and whether to keep it alive or let it go. But I'm scared for fallout. Okay. So this one is for Oh, look, a fish. Okay. So is this person preventing you from stopping new opportunities or new interests in your life? Because what I'm getting is, and we've had this before, the Ace of Wands, which is the beginning of something like exciting or an interest or passion or um, like a hobby or an idea or could be anything, like the start of something. Is this person uh, preventing you from exploring new things in your life? Because what I'm getting is the Sun card, which is sort of like the wish card. This is kind of my favorite card of the deck. It's like an abundance of potential. It's like the light that gives life to everything on the planet. It's like the dream card. Like there is so much energy and potential, and I'm getting that, I guess, like from you. Like there's a boundless amount of um, opportunity within your grasp, within your reach. Um, and combined with the Ace of Wands, it's almost like there's like a catalyst that you're waiting for it to sort of unleash. And so the so is this person a I'm getting like a motherly figure, like a female energy, the Queen of Cups. Um, someone is it usually the face cards are usually representative of an actual person. Um, and I'm getting like an older like woman or a motherly figure or feminine energy. Um, they're saying it's saying that there is a almost like a passivity to them. They are fine. Is what it's sort of telling me. Like they're in tune with their emotions and they're sort of stable and they're almost indifferent. I don't know who this relationship, who or what your relation is with this person that you're trying to make a decision about. Um, whether to keep it alive or let it go. I think you need to focus on your how this relationship is affecting you, because I'm getting from them that there is like a passivity and it almost like an indifference, and that they are going to be at peace one way or the other. The Fairlight um, is in this deck it's the Fairlight, but in most conventional decks it's Temperance, and Temperance is one of like finding peace and balance in all aspects of your life. So I don't think there's going to be fallout one way or the other. I think this person is going to be fine with or without you, and so you need to find out whether this person is stopping you from that having that spark and achieving um, the sun, right? The abundance of what life has ahead of you. Um, and it's almost telling me that like this person, they're not contributing to that. They may not be preventing it. Um, but yeah, I think maybe you can talk to them. But right now, I don't think that they're adding or subtracting to your life, and I think that they'll be fine one way or the other. I'm almost getting that there's like an indifference about your relationship with them. I don't know why. So that's a question that you need to ask. But in terms of the fallout, I don't think there's going to be fallout. It's going to be a lot less chaotic than I think you may think it would be. Um, so I don't know, Fish. Does any of that make sense? I'm sort of just swinging in the dark because I like to sort of get a little bit of context, so it helps me explain the cards more. But if any of that makes sense to you, that didn't know I could learn so much from you. Well, I'm glad you're learning something and helps. Thank you. Okay. Okay. Yeah. I'm glad that helps. I don't know if you want to divulge any more to add clarity, but if that makes sense to you, then go with it. I'm not claiming to be divine or have any mystical powers to see things that aren't there. I usually use these as like a tool to reflect on people's situations. It's weird. It's raining indoors. My face is wet. Aw. Okay, well, I'm glad that meant something to you. I'm glad that you resonated with that, and I hope that however that relationship goes, that you sort of get the sun that you deserve. And sun, I mean like the celestial giant fireball in the sky, not SON. Appreciate it. Thanks so much. Yeah, of course. I'm glad it helped. And plastic, you're gonna see the sun. Don't worry. You're gonna see the light. You're so young. You've got, once you get out of your head and once you get out of yeah, just out of your head and out of the sort of the what ifs and the fantasy, the fantasy in the sense of like daydreaming almost, right? Like, um, once you get out and see what the world has to offer, you're gonna do great. If you were to do everything by 20, I I don't know what to say about that. I would caution you about that expectation or that um, yeah, that expectation you set yourself up for, because I don't think it's realistic. I don't think it's fair. I don't think it's helpful. I don't. There's so much more that you're going to experience in the next just 5 years or 10 years. Like, you're going to look back and be like, okay, that was kind of silly to assume that I would have had everything figured out by 20, because literally no one does. Okay, I think unless anyone wants to ask another question quickly, I think that should have been enough time for Doe to the Doe to. Oh, Rambo did want a reading when they got back, so you are back. What did you want to ask, Rambo? I'll do a final reading for you, and then we'll roll out the dough and get those cookies baked. Cookies, yes, we're making alfajores. Jaime, you can put on headphones and listen to it. Oh, you want to listen to this, or you don't care? Hmm? Do I ask a question? It can be however whatever you want to know. So you can just ask for a general reading. Say, I just what's the future hold, or it could be something specific. You can ask like, what my romantic prospects are going to be. Am I going to land my dream job? Am I going to come into money in the future, or how do I navigate some situation that I'm dealing with? It could be anything, from as vague as you want to as specific as you want, and I'll do my best. Back to lurking if you need to coach that as well. Okay, thanks, Plastic. My question would be like, what does the future hold for dating as I've been single my whole life? All right, Rambo wants to know about their dating life. Let's see. Nine of Swords. Okay, Rambo, have you been having a lot of like anxiety lately, or like sort of maybe even restless like nights where you can't sleep? And is this giving you a lot of stress? Like, are you actually legitimately worried about this? Because I'm getting like some genuine anxiety and mental anguish that's coming from this. Ooh, okay. Um, because if that's the case, I would say you don't need to do this. I think it's you got like I don't know what if you're interested in men, but I'm getting two very strong male energies. So you may actually have choice in the future about who you are going to be um, coming into contact with in terms of romantic relationships. On the one hand, you get the Lord, who is like the boss kind of card. Like the they're confident. They call the shots. They're the assertive one, um, and they do very well for themselves. They're very established. Um, but then there's also the high priest, and this is someone who is um, establishing confidence in a different way. They still channel a very strong masculine energy, but this is almost in a mystical kind of way. Like they are very in tune with um, the way the world operates from a as a in a masculine energy kind of way. Like this person is very spiritual. They're very charismatic. They're very persuasive, and even though they maybe not as successful or financially well off or even like physically attractive, there's like a charm and an energy that is just as compelling and interesting as the Lord. Um, so I think for you, whatever this, I don't know. Like I said, there's the first card that I drew was the Nine of Swords, and this is one of like stress, of anxiety, of like sleepless nights because you're waking up in the middle of the night worried. Like I don't know if that's something that you've been that's if this aspect of your relationship life or your dating life has had that much of a mental strain on you. I don't feel like I'm overly worried about it. Just curious, to be honest. Okay, so maybe it's not as severe as that, but maybe there is a um, like an anxiety that's been stopping you from exploring. Um, but I see these, the major arcana they're not the face cards, so they're not always people. These are oftentimes like aspects. But for some reason, I'm getting them as people. I'm seeing in the future, you're gonna come into contact with these two types of people, and it's almost like you get to choose. Um, and choice is always a good thing. But I guess what it's saying is don't fret about it, um, but don't be anxious to put yourself out there either. I know it can be nerve wracking to introduce yourself and meet new people. But the final card, so the sort of end result is the Six of Wands, and this person, whoever you meet, they should make you feel special. They should make you um, almost feel like a celebrity. Like they don't not love bomb because that can be a toxic, you know, sort of manipulative tactic. But this person is going to treat you well and make you feel really special. Um, and so I guess the question then for you is when you meet when you're I guess potentially deciding between these two people, go with whoever makes you feel the most wanted and who makes you feel the most celebrated, who enjoys you for who you are, um, and celebrates all aspects of yourself. So basically, are you going to be dating? You're not going to be single your whole life, and I think in the future you are going to have a sudden uh, abundance of options and choice, from in the form of these two sort of energies. So it's exciting. Hope that goes well. And I don't know, maybe you already know these people. Maybe it's just a matter of like taking the first step and making the first move. You know. So I hope that makes sense. I hope that helps. That's what the cards are telling me. So yeah, I think we're good with the go. I think it's been chilled long enough. So we're gonna roll it out and then cut out little circles. I mean, you don't want to watch the show? All right, shifting gears again back to our baking channel. Is that the BF, the husband? But we live in an apartment, so basically taking the entire apartment hostage. Hi, hubby. You're being said hi to. He laughed. He said hi. Well, he did say hi, but he does say hi. He refuses to say hi. Yeah, it's a nice apartment. It's just, and ceilings are really tall. But the living room and the kitchen are sort of just one big open space. So if he was listening to a TV show, you would not be able to hear me. And there are other rooms, but they're not really well suited for baking or reclining and watching shows. He was playing Arceus, Legends of Arceus earlier, very briefly. Yeah, this countertop is we repurposed a bathroom cabinet. This is originally meant to have like a sink and stuff, and we repurposed it into a kitchen. So I think that's rolled out. No, here's a little more. This is not a rolling pin, it's actually a muddler for like mojitos. But we're gonna make do with what we've got. And in that similar spirit of using what you got, this is the cap for what are those shakers called? Yeah, a drink shaker. And so instead of a cookie cutter, we're using that. I was using a wine bottle until I got my French rolling pin. Oh, I would love a French rolling pin. Hint, hint. So now we're just gonna cut out the cookies, and then once we've done the first pass, we can actually roll this dough back up, roll it back out, and get the most out of the dough. Yeah, Rambo. Okay. I mean, just because the card presents male doesn't necessarily mean that they are a man. The cards are pretty flexible in that interpretation. They do talk about masculine and feminine sort of energies, not necessarily male or female, right? So, um, it's kind of old way of thinking of things, but that's just the way the tarot is structured. So, just because the cards were men, it could be more of like an assertive energy, right? Like they could still be a woman and have that sort of dominating aura about them. There's like people want to know, people I want to know will know, and others won't. Since I've been on Twitch, I feel like I could be myself, and I feel supported here. That's great. Yeah. Everyone's on their journey, their own path, their own journey in life, and um, I'm getting from that reading. Maybe that's where that anxiety comes from. Is the not the dating itself, but being comfortable with who you are and being honest with yourself and those around you. And maybe that's where that stress and that anxiety is coming from. But once you sort of move past that and find people who do make you feel like a celebrity, that was the final card, is like that, you know, feeling seen and feeling celebrated, um, then you'll be able to find the person, uh, find a relationship and find someone that's good for you. Don't all stick together. The dough is still pretty warm. I have really warm hands, so kind of melting the butter, which is not ideal, but pushing forward. I definitely didn't roll this out evenly, so we're gonna have some thin cookies and some very thick cookies, but that's okay. They're gonna taste delicious all the same. I always joke about how I want Ariana Grande and Nick Jonas to share me. Yeah. I mean, those are some good options, so. Have you tried the dunking your hand in ice water for that kind of issue? I have not, but that's an interesting idea that I should probably do next time. It's a little late for that now, but thank you for that advice. I hadn't heard that, but it makes sense. I've also thought of like, I don't know, like nitrile gloves to act as a thermal barrier. Um, Kind of lazy as well, so they're not like it's not soupy, they're not like crumbling and falling apart. So I say that as one of them literally just falls apart. That's okay. As you noticed, I've changed the auto mod settings so that you don't get banned for the emotes. Um, I remember that the first time you put a bunch of emotes in the Nightbot banned you, so I did make an effort to change that. Seems like it's worked. I had one batch of croissants that just leaked all of the butter. Oh no! Before I went into the oven. That is very sad. That hurts my heart. That hurts me on a deep spiritual level. But you know what? With sometimes the ingredients, no matter what you do, even if it's not picture perfect, can't really go that wrong with butter and flour and salt. So even if it doesn't bake properly, I'm sure it still tastes delicious. Rambo 2. Poor Rambo getting auto modded. Oh, well, he's, they are, uh, the sacrificial lamb so that we learn to change the settings on the Nightbot. We're just gonna finish this round. We're gonna recombine the dough and then roll it out once more. Repeat. I wouldn't do it more than once because at that point it gets kind of gross. The dough is too soft and too melted, and I don't know. There's something that doesn't feel right about it. Using scraps more than once kind of feels gross to me, even though this desk is completely clean. Yeah, the cookies are a little soft, so all of them have like little finger indents of me trying to peel them off the bench. Oh no, now I'm just completely bunged up. But, so I'm gonna have to try to be a little quick about this. And I should also figure out what temperature I'm baking these at. I'm just here lurking and playing games. Yeah, go for it. And thank you for the lurk. Glad that you're hanging out here and uh, lurking. Sorry. What game are you playing, Plastic? Those little imperfections that truly make it homemade, which is nice. That's a great way of looking at it. I'm going to agree with you, and see that as a positive and not a negative. If anyone disagrees, they're just wrong then. If they disagree, they can not eat my cookies and go get one from one that was made by a machine. Okay, final pass. And we bake. So the other thing that alfajores have, in addition to the sugar cookie outside, and then the dulce de leche inside, is you rim them, you roll them on shredded coconut. And it adds a bit of texture, diversity of flavor. And if you've never had shredded coconut as a dessert or part of a dessert, I highly recommend it. It's a really distinct flavor. It just brightens up, because otherwise it can be kind of monotonous, because the cookie and the filling are so sweet that the coconut adds nice sort of brightness and diversity to it. Okay. Whenever you need, someone in addition to myself can help watch you. Okay, so that's a question I have. I don't really understand how modding works, and is it just something like a role that I can just give to people, and that gives them certain privileges and powers or authority to do certain things? I'm still very new, so excuse my ignorance. Okay. So second scrap, I'm not going to roll them out again, like I said. It's just, I know it's kind of wasteful, although I will probably pick away at this off camera. We've got all the cookies, just waiting for the oven to heat up, and then we're going to bake. For sugar cookies, you should try Demerara sugar to roll it. Okay, yeah, that's toasty sugar. Okay, I think, no, I mean, brown sugar, and I have, but I think I know what you're talking about. That's an interesting idea. Maybe I'll try that next time. But now, not bad. Oh no, please tell me I still have. Phew. Coconut. Okay, so people are going nuts over this sugar. I'll have to get I'll have to get some. The streamer adds mods, and they can help set up stream stuff, and yes, delete messages and add commands. Country. Interesting. Okay, well, noted. I will, next time I'm out shopping, I will pick them up. And thanks, Plastic, for clarifying. After this, maybe I'll get to the moderating process. And if you want to be a moderator, totally. That would be very kind of you. I make these pistachio swirl cookies for the holidays, and they're rolled in it by a great sweetness and crunch. I love pistachios. I've got, just eat it by the, these are shelled and toasted or roasted, or whatever you call them. Roasted and salted and shelled, and I'll just eat them by the handfuls. Love them. And yes, I like making them into a dessert is very common. So it's like they're very versatile. You can make pistachios into a savory or a sweet dish. Thank you. Thank you, Classic. All right, so we're just waiting for the oven to heat up. Actually, you know what? Maybe we'll make one big sugar beet. That is a great idea, Scott. Oh, yeah. Delicious. I had to order my sugar off Amazon because I'm in the Midwest and finding specific ingredients can be a pain sometimes. Huh. Wonder if I shop at Costco, but I'm also in Toronto, so I don't know what our options look like versus those in the Midwest. But I have heard of that sugar, so I'm sure I'm sure I can find it. Hope that hair stuff. Oh, fresh. I hope the hair stuff works. I'm just waiting until I get the second job and get settled in. So I'm used to shaving my head, but I haven't waited to see if I can make this happen. You know, if it comes back and works out how I want it. I'm never shaving it again. I'm never shaving it again. I'm gonna shave your head. That's Derek. This is the shortest my hair's been for a while. I used to have like that sort of quaff, but I don't know if I would look good with a shaved head. Why would you be shaving your head? Is that like related to work? Is that like a military thing? I like to have short hair. Yeah, I some people definitely look better with certain hairstyles. I think everyone's like there's like an ideal, but I also think everyone should experiment growing their hair out, playing with different looks, and seeing what works and what doesn't work. Um, I've had some pretty bad hairstyles in the past. I will probably have some pretty bad hairstyles in the future. Um, and I encourage that experimentation to happen earlier in life than later because, you know, well, some people have to deal with thinning or receding or balding hair. So enjoy it and play with it while you can. I'm pretty lucky. Mine's not really going anywhere. I have very, very thick hair. Um, I don't want to complain, but sometimes it gets so thick that when I do grow it out, it just sort of grows totally outward. And that can make it difficult to style, but I'm not going to complain. I know that I've had people tell me that it's rude to talk badly about my hair when they're dealing with their own hair issues, just balding and whatnot. So your hair is nice. Thanks. Just want to see if I can grow it back now. I'm gonna look like Omi from Xiaolin Showdown. Let's see. Who is Omi from Xiaolin? Oh, is that? I think I know exactly what your hairstyle. Oh yeah, I remember that show. That is a blast from the past. Very cute. All right, our oven is heated. It's fairly thin for 10 to 12 minutes. I'll have to do a second round because I don't have space for this. But uh, okay, we're twins. My hair doesn't grow long, it grows thick. Summer's here, suck with all the humidity. In the summer, I always have to ask them to thin it or else I die. Yeah, I'm always conflicted between asking them to thin it because sometimes it actually does the opposite. When the hairs are really short, they stick up even more. Like it takes a while. Like once it gets to a certain length, then it kind of loosens and bends over. But like when it's really short, it's like it sticks straight up. And so sometimes it actually ends up causing the hair to be loopier. So I don't know. I don't know what the right answer is, but yeah, it gets a little unwieldy sometimes. But the old school cartoon days, yeah, that was a you totally remember it. Are you supposed to like forget about things after 7 years that you haven't thought of them? I definitely have not thought of that show in 7 years, but I still have very strong memories of it. So that's very interesting. My hair floofs and fizzes out if it grows longer. Yeah, yeah, I hear that. But then once you get past, it's like there's like stages. There's like ebbs and flows between like as it grows out, it gets like ugly and then good looking and then ugly and then good looking again. So you just have to when it's in that ugly stage, you just have to wait it out and stay resolute and know that the better hair days are to come. Mine is longer down to my chin at the moment. It was down to my shoulders almost. Wow, that's I've never had it that long. I used to when I was in high school. I had that like the hockey hair, the bowl cut. That was like they would like basically almost look like a helmet, but not a bowl cut. It was like the cool version. It wasn't cool. It was really ugly. But uh, this doesn't get curly. I like a good curly hair. I have a friend who has really curly hair, and they kind of like did really short on the sides and like a little long on the top, and it was all curly, and it looked really nice. So consider that. I strongly approve of that. So yeah, I guess for now we've got 10 minutes to bake these cookies. We can do some more taro if people are interested. We're almost at 2 hours here, guys. Wow. Thanks for sticking with me and hanging out and chatting. I think this is my longest stream. I know it's kind of unconventional. We're kind of all over the place with baking and taro, and probably will be doing gaming in the future. I've done some, like one stream before of like a transit puzzle game. So I know you're supposed to find your niche and stick to one thing and do that, but I'm kind of having fun just doing a little bit of everything. I'm around. I'm having fun. But glad to hear it. Thanks, Classic. I appreciate you. You've been here from the beginning, and you're always really supportive. So that appreciate that. Do what you love. Thanks. I will. And I love to bake. I love the game. I love reading tarot. So here we are. You get people who will stick around no matter what you play. I hope so. That those are the. I mean, I don't blame people if they have an interest in one of the things I do and no interest in the others. If you just want to stick around for those parts, then I get it. But sometimes people are just here for the personality or hanging out with the person, not necessarily what they're doing, and I get that too. So, no pressure to anyone either way. I just appreciate those who are here in the present. Of course, you do awesome things. Thanks, Plastic. That's what I'm telling myself. I'm always lurking in streams that I enjoy. I'm trying to think of more questions. LOL. Yeah, I'm a big lurker as well. I like to have stuff happening in the background. And usually that's in the form of a streamer. That's sort of what motivated me and inspired me to do this, to get started. I'm trying to figure out the audio because I have the mic and I see that it's like peaking a lot of the times. But then if I'm like over here, it gets really quiet. So I don't know. Hoping it grows back thick and long, so I'll see. I might want mine curly before I cut mine. Who was the first streamer you found and enjoyed? Oh. There's like a whole list that I kind of found all at once. There's basically all the gays and all the weird content creators. Connor, I don't know if they're still in there. Buff Boy Games has been super supportive. He went out of his way to shout me out and send love my way, and that's really appreciated. Bad Gamer Kieran. What else do we have? Milkman Nick. Michaelis, or I can't remember, is that how you pronounce it? There was I'm gonna forget his name. I think he's he works for Twitch now. But there is one of the sort of more, he was like an Instagram person that also did Twitch streaming, and I think he's now working for Twitch. Justin, that's right. Justin was also fun to watch. But I usually like to find sort of the smaller streamers because I know that they are a lot more engaged, and they can use the views more, and then it's also just a little more personal, and you get to sort of interact and engage with them one-on-one. And there's a certain appeal and charm to that. Yeah, lots of streamers. I think that's how I met you, Stu Buffalo. Yeah, he's great. Love him. Yeah, and like that's just how it happens, right? As channels grow and they get bigger, it's hard to maintain that one-on-one dynamic and keep up with chat. It's not realistic. It's not anyone's fault. It's just the way channels grow. And yeah, you can't fault them for that, right? It's they're doing their best, and they're one person that can only read and engage with so many comments before it gets a little unwieldy. It's really gross to do. I mean, maybe. Right now I'm sort of I don't have expectations, and just enjoying this for what it is. And if people want to watch it, then I appreciate that. But I'm not like going into this being like, I gotta be the next big streamer. I gotta have hundreds and thousands of views, and this is not meant to be my employment or replacement of employment. This is just a hobby that I'm doing for fun and get an opportunity to talk to people and get to know people and share experiences and ideas and conversations. I've got a question. How do I approach life after a lifetime of dark days? Oh, well, Plastic, it's sad to hear. I'm sorry that you had a lifetime of dark days. Let's see what the tarots have to say. I mean, independent of the tarot. If you have the resources or the ability, or um, therapy is, I think everyone should access therapy resources at some point. You know, life's hard, uh, and no one has it figured out. And having someone who's trained professionally to help people navigate only ever does good. So if you have that option, I definitely encourage you to do that. But in terms of, is he actually here? Oh, okay.
You're welcome. Super special guest.
Okay. Well, we have a. Well, I don't know. It's that. Okay. Quickly, I have someone who's. We have a guest arriving shortly. So, classic. I'm seeing the Six of Wands we've drawn before. This is a card of like celebration and getting excited, and this is sort of a recurring theme for you, about centering yourself. Like it's time for you to be the star and to be the protagonist in your storyline, right? Like, I think.
Hi. Hi. Hello.
You're on stream now.
Is this your OnlyFans?
Yeah.
That's right.
Does
it video?
We're just doing a tarot reading for someone. Stream. This is Adam. He's a friend. So yeah, this is saying center, like focus on you for once. Let yourself be the star of the show and be the focus. And
I will.
yeah. And the Three of Cups is a card of like celebration and fun and like festivities and friendship. And so like I think what it's saying is establish a social network and like a friend group that you can go out and have fun and do things with, which is what. But come. Long. Okay. The chaos.
Yeah. Hi. How are you?
Okay. More rounds. Sorry about all that chaos. Yeah. So going back to classic. Establishing a circle of friends that you can start doing things with. I think that is the key right now for you, is having people so you don't sort of fall into those old habits of dark times and drawing in and being reclusive. Once you establish, I know it's hard, it's easier said than done, but once you establish that, they'll encourage you to come out and they'll start inviting you and they'll make you feel special, like you're part of something. And then the Queen of Cups, we've also drawn a lot of this repeating cards, but this is, in this case, I think this is representing you, and this is finding a nurturing, like the Queen is someone who's sort of confident, but nurturing. There's like a motherly energy, and I think you need to be the mother for yourself, right? The Queen has her foot in the water, meaning she's in tune with her emotions, but she's also standing on land, so she's connected to reality. So I think this is saying you need to be kinder to yourself and more nurturing to yourself. Like it's almost see yourself as your own child, right? It's kind of weird to think of it that way. But if you see yourself as their caretaker for yourself, it's a lot easier to be nice and a lot easier to do kind things to yourself. And then the final one is the star. So I think this is recommending to go for what, like go shoot for the stars, basically, right? Like don't limit yourself, and if you have something that really inspires you or that really makes you, sparks that sort of joy, don't limit yourself. Like go for that. Like this is sort of the dream or the wish card, and one of like sort of magic, right? And sometimes the world works in mysterious ways that it doesn't make sense. It's not your place to question it sometimes, right? So saying shoot for the stars and like dream big, because I think there's a lot in store for you, and it really comes down to kindness and centering yourself and establishing a group of friends that have your back and have your best interest. So we baked the cookies. I'm going to leave things there. I know that that's kind of anticlimactic. The only thing left now is actually putting the cookies together with the dulce de leche. And I'm being lazy today, and I'm just using store-bought dulce de leche. I was considering, so making dulce de leche is not that. It's literally just basically it's in there, but I don't want to fish it up. Basically, just boiling sweetened condensed milk for hours and hours and hours, and then eventually it starts to caramelize, and when you open it up, you've got dulce de leche. But I'm just going to do it with the store-bought stuff, and I do have guests now, so I'm going to finish off the rest of these cookies off camera and do a bit of socializing and hosting. So I'm going to leave it there, but thank you everyone who has spent time with me today and chatted and watched me bake and make a mess. Yeah, plastic. I get that. And I think you can find social groups and friends in different communities, right? That doesn't necessarily always have to be in person. I think for you, it would be good to make that effort to find people that will actually bring you out of the house, that will take you to, that will that you can go grab a drink. I mean, you've got a year before you can actually do that legally, but maybe go to the park in the summer and have a picnic together. Stuff that gets you out of the house. Always good to get in touch with nature, and believe in yourself. I think that's the big thing too here is not only being kind to yourself, but believing in yourself that you can do it and that you deserve friends, you deserve people in your life who care about you, and you deserve kindness towards yourself. Thank you so much for today, Scott. You are amazing. No, you are amazing. I can try that. Good. I hope you do. Bird chest. I don't know what that means. Lurking shadow. Hi, lurking shadow. We're just finishing up. We made some sugar cookies, which are going to. Oh, it's a little dark. They're going to be the top and bottom of the alfajores, and then you have the dulce de leche in the middle, and then you rim them with shredded coconut. So that's all for tonight. Thanks everyone for stopping by, for chatting, and I hope that the tarot reading that I did for people resonates, and yeah, I'll post the finished product when I'm done. So thanks everyone. Have a great night. I guess we can raid. Any recommendations on who to raid? Let's do board games, of course. We're doing that for sure, right? How do I get back to it? My channel, dashboard. Good night, everyone. Flash raid. F boy games. Right, I think we're doing it. All right, good night, everyone.